Hey everybody. So we're back and we have quite the devastated town. It's everything's gone. It's all burned. So how do we come back from this level of devastation? I have a theory that I think we can actually manage it. So how's it going to work? Well, when you reclaim this stuff, you get a little bit back. So what I'm basically going to do is pretend like this is Rome, and Rome has been plundered by the Vandals, has been burned down. It's done. The survivors now have to kind of get by on their own out in the wilds. So I'm going to remove basically every building and use the little bit of resources I get from that to all I'm going to focus on is essentially getting a whole bunch of gathering nodes, and I'm going to make them completely self-sufficient. What do I mean by that? So one problem I've been having with my gathering nodes, and actually I didn't realize this, but apparently a market can only hold enough goods to support one of all four kinds of production building. So that means for every one market, you can get one tavern, one tailor, one blacksmith, and one woodcutter. So having all these extra blacksmiths and stuff centered around this market was completely superfluous. And that, if that theory is correct, which I believe it is, it also explains why, even though I had all these buildings, they just weren't producing all that much. So essentially, I'm gonna close work at all these and reclaim them, and also reclaim the houses. I'm basically tearing down anything that was around the market, and my goal is to essentially take all these little nodes and make them completely self-sufficient. So how does that work? Well, basically one of them is going to have a woodcutter, and maybe the next one will have some medicine, and the third will have a tailor. And the idea is by spreading those around and kind of putting them next to each other, they'll be way more efficient. Because what was happening was these woodcutters, they would look around and say, well, the market is empty of resources because it only ever holds enough to support one of us. So I have to walk all the way out, way, all the way out to here to grab a little log and then walk all the way back. So I think that is what was really holding back our production. So this is almost what our model town is going to be. Essentially, we'll have a woodcutter. Like every other town will have a woodcutter, and maybe two or three will have tailors as well. They're going to be completely self-sufficient. And we're going to ignore markets. We're going to ignore a whole bunch of stuff. All in the effort of just having these small, tiny little self-sustaining communities. So to that end, I'm going to actually take our removal tool, and I'm going to remove some stuff. I'm going to remove them, that guy as well. I'll leave the cemetery in because it doesn't hurt us either way. So basically, let's not remove the historically significant ox cart. But by removing all these, actually, I'm going to cancel remove on two of these because this is going to be a little fishing area. So we actually do want a couple around. We'll leave two of those. And the idea here is by clearing all this out, I'm actually going to reclaim this one and rebuild it because that will support this little fishing area. These are going to get destroyed, and I'm basically it's all part of an effort to recenter the community around these little nodes. So I'm hopeful doing that will, one, really boost our production, and two, actually get us more food and more resources. Because, see here, we got this big pile, and we have that big pile because there isn't a woodcutter close enough to this area to deal with that. So All these I want to rebuild, so that's fine. I basically all my community is going to be based around these gathering nodes. I'm gonna put them in areas that might not seem like the best spot, but the whole idea is they're all gonna be self-sufficient. They'll be able to cover everything that they need to cover, and I'm hoping that we will produce so much extra food that we will get to the 400 point, and then we can think about maybe redoing the town. And obviously, there's some stuff I need to correct and fix in it. So what I want to do, I'm going to kind of split up our labor pool. So we have 5 builders and 5 laborers. I'm thinking I'm going to tear these down, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that because I need this for other things. So it's kind of brutal, you know. It's like I'm removing all these like handy structures, but it's such an emergency that I can't help it. The only thing I'm not going to remove are the mines. We will eventually want them again. So, and obviously we're going to rebuild everything eventually, but just getting back to that point is going to be, you know, this is the fall of the Roman Empire. That's how I'm thinking of it. Everyone has to go out into the woods to survive now, and civilization as we know it is gone. So. The other thing is I'd like to upgrade these houses, but for now, no, it's, you know, we don't have the stone for it. So we're just going to have to grin and bear it and accept the fact that a lot of these we're kind of going back in time on things. So, and I definitely, we'll get a gather up here, another hut here. I'm going to put them anywhere that seems even remotely feasible, like in here. Just find space for them, because I think that's going to be the key to long-term success until we hit 400. Once we hit that 400 mark, everything changes. We can rediscover agriculture. We, you know, it'll definitely lead to some major changes. But for now, that's the plan, and we'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, I will. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of starvation too. A lot of people, unfortunately, they lost their food stores when this burned down. So. But we'll just let them. Let's get a lot more going on the building side. Yeah, 18, that should be good. And the whole idea is we're taking resources that we had and we're just cannibalizing them so that we have something to rebuild with. I'm even gonna put a gathering node like right in the middle of what used to be our glorious town. So. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it might be kind of a hopeless cause, but maybe not. Maybe not. I'm also removing everything in there, and yeah. At this point, it's kind of like just let them cannibalize what they can, scavenge all this stuff, and see if we can rebuild. See if we can make a comeback from it. So. That's the whole goal. Let's see, what else do I want? So, we need to add, like, a tailor to a couple of these. I think, like, we'll do every, let's say every other one, like 1 or 2. Like, if we put one here, it can kind of service those. And if we put one down here, it can service this. So, let's get the tailors queued up. And yeah, we'll see what happens. And tailor, so we'll also need a house for the tailor to live in, and also some woodcutters. I definitely want to get some woodcutters in. So put one in there, and let's get. I'd love to put in the stone houses, but for now it's gotta be wood houses. So just because I don't think we have enough materials to really support a whole bunch of wood houses. And let's also we'll get a couple of choppas, a couple of little woodcutters in. So, yeah, and people are gonna freeze to death. It's gonna be really gnarly. Civilization has collapsed, so to speak. And we'll put in another house here. But I'm fairly confident we'll be able to come back from this. We'll see. If we don't, we don't, and you know, we can always start over. And the nice thing is, if we do start over, is pretty handy in a way because we can start out with schools and we can start out with um, let's see. So I think they'll be serviced by this guy pretty well. We can go down on the woodcutters even. And I wish we had the town hall, but we don't. So I will start, let's start filling these out because we might need the food, especially with all the stores of food that we lost. So, all told, I mean, it'd be nice to get this built, and it looks like they are making some progress on it. So, I think this might actually end up being a better strategy than if we had continued as we were, like, you know, rising, 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 drop, rising, 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 drop. You know, we're hitting these kind of limits that I don't think we could have come back from fairly easily. So, we'll see. I think the laborers, they're off doing something. I'm gonna leave a couple of miners going, not many, but like, let's go up to 5, because we're gonna need iron for rebuilding, also stone cutters. 5 of those as well. And no more blacksmiths. Tools are a luxury that our people have forgotten. So, and no more tailors. There's no tailoring for them, so. And no more vendors. Jeez. Well, where else can we steal some people? No more teachers. No more books. Dirty looks. I'd like to get some herbalists going, because this is a time of like sorcery and witchcraft that the people, they've reverted to barbarism. And they no longer like remember the old ways of medicine and science. So, that should be good. I think the herbalist only takes 1, so. And we can get some more foresters going. We'll slowly crank that up. Yeah, I'm going to leave these running just for a bit longer. Just while we rebuild, you know, because there's so much we have. Look at 179 each. Lot of building that needs to happen. So it looks like they're kind of trickling in though. They're sort of getting on it. I expect we'll start to see this getting cleared out eventually. And we're gonna leave in the fishing villages, and actually let's order. I think I already ordered that to be rebuilt. So because the fishing is fairly self-sufficient. Pun unintended there. Sufficient. Anyway. So it's probably a good idea to leave that going. You know, time of terrible diseases, we aren't going to have a hospital for them, so whatever, let it ride. Oh boy, oh boy. And this is like the only solution I could come up with, but maybe there are better ones. I mean, ideally, you'd have a ton of stone and stuff saved up so you could just rebuild everything and be done with it, but I don't know. The planning wasn't as solid as I thought it was, so I don't think I'm too upset by. Oh, I am upset they reclaimed that. I thought they were rebuilding it. Oh, because I want to get more fishing going, and that was going to be. Well, in that case, like, might as well remove the fishing then. Yeah, I wonder if I hit, like, tear down building, if it'll be faster. Okay, that's marked for doom. Yeah, just reclaiming it all, because we need to salvage what we can from the old world to rebuild. And the TB it's pretty bad in this horrible barbaric times. I think I'm having too much fun with this. And they're breaking it down. They're going to get some resources. See, we were already starting to build up a bit. So it'll be interesting to come back. Like, I'm thinking it's gonna take 100 years to recover from this, but who knows? I might be proved wrong. Maybe this strategy will turn out to be exactly what needed to happen, and it'll really get things going again. A lot of TV going on. Okay. We're keeping the 2 houses for the fishing crews out here. I'm tempted to reclaim this house even. Like, really go nuts with it, but I don't think we can do that. Whole lot of TV. Man, oh man. And TV's, it's gonna be bad, unfortunately. We could get another woodcutter going. I don't know if this guy... Actually, I'm tempted. I think I'm going to tear this guy down. Maybe. Nah, we'll leave him. No, we'll tear him down. We'll tear him down and build a... Build one like here, and we'll try to build like a woodcutter actually, and maybe almost every one of these spots, because you know that'll get us a good extra little bit of a stockpile. Who did I put in there? Taylor. Okay, that's fine. And we'll put a woodcutter here. It's kind of far away from that stockpile, but I think it'll be fine. He's almost back to the original position, but... And the second stockpile just for him over here, like a 4x4. Yeah, make it 5x5 or what? Yeah, 4x4. Okay. So gradually rebuilding. Let's It looks like it's almost working out in a weird way. Like, so far I haven't seen much complaining about not enough food or anything. Let's we'll put in a gathering node here too. I mean, why not? Get a little forester. This is actually kind of cool in a way. It's almost like a little bit of role play. Like, it really is like rebuilding in the aftermath of a great cataclysm. So kind of fun. Kind of a fun idea. We'll let the forest rebuild and plant first, and it's gonna be crazy to see. Like, I should actually, let's remove the stockpiles as well. They take up valuable real estate. We'll leave a couple just for building for now. Well, let's put one in here and then like remove others or something. We'll do stuff and things. I should put a house in there though. I think, yeah, I accidentally tore one down, but it's fine. It's fine, just fine. Yeah, it's crazy how this is almost working. It can be 4x4, whatever. And we'll fit in a house here. If it'll fit. Will it fit? Probably no. It'll fit here though. Actually used to be a house around here, so we'll kind of rebuild that whole area, but rebuilding it with wood instead of like better materials. What else can we put on? Let's get our gatherer going and all that. So gatherer. It's gonna be crazy to see what this turns into when they finish clearing it all out. Like, there'll be the cemetery in the middle of this woods. I'm gonna cancel the church and other buildings because they're gonna take up, they're gonna take up space that could be going towards something else. So, out of the ashes of the old world, a new one rises, huh?